Well, good morning. Hey, we are on another ride. So once again, you'll notice that we are at the corner of 40th and Fruitvale. And you'll know you're here, other than that, because there's a Taco Bell on one corner, and on the opposite corner, there is an Arco. Behind the Taco Bell is a Fred Meyer shopping center kind of place, and lots of people park there and unload their bikes and ride from there. That's the way we went last time. We went west. This time we're going down that trail. We're headed east. It's going to be along the freeway for a little bit, so it'll be a little bit noisy like it is right now, but it does get much quieter. Why don't you ride along with me? Hey, I'm Arnie J, and this is the Rad Rover Way, where we talk Rad Rovers and anything having to do with rad bikes. Let's go for a ride. As we head out east, we'll pass Figs Optical and Wilson contact lenses. A bunch of other office suites. And then about, I don't know, 1/10 of a mile or so, I guess, we come to the first of several little ponds. Popular place to go fishing, and in the heat of the summer, you'll find people swimming here too. That's not something I would do. Just never know what's going to be under the water. There's a lot of deadfall and stuff in there, so that's not something I'd be interested in. About another 1/10 of a mile along, you'll see a right-hand turn, and that'll just kind of take you back the way we were. So you don't want to go that way. So off to our left, freeway over there, we're paralleling it, and to our right, as I mentioned before, there's little ponds, a lot of warehouses over here. This is a nice flat ride. There are 3 or 4 little ponds. They call them lakes here. This is Eastern Washington after all, so any body of water bigger than a puddle gets called a lake. So I'm on pedal assist 1 and gear 5, doing about 14, 15 miles an hour. As I mentioned in the previous video, speed limit is 15. You'll see the occasional walker or runner along this. Not sure if you can see to my right, to your right for that matter, one of the lakes. This one is built up with very expensive homes around it. As I mentioned, this is the only lake in the Yakima area, and they've put some expensive houses along that little body of water. Aspen Lake is what it's called, and they have tried to block it out with some trees so it's not quite so apparent that you're by the freeway. This little place right here is now a medical office. It was a restaurant at one time. Don't know why it didn't work. Perfect location. All right, so as you approach 16th, there's a little rise, kind of a steep little hill. When you get to the top, you're going to make a really sharp left-hand turn. Don't go out onto the street. You're actually going against traffic here. But it's marked, and they have little bollards. And you'll cross the freeway, and you get to the other side and cross over to the parking lot, make a right-hand turn, and you're headed down the Greenway down to the river. Here the trail gets a lot curvier. It's following the river, and it's going through the stand of trees. It's nice when people stay to one side or the other. Multi-use path, you know, it's open to everybody, but boy, it's amazing how many people walk 4, 5, 6 abreast using up the entire path. Well, that's kind of common in most areas, I guess. And weaving our way around the trees on my left-hand side. There was a fire here not that long ago. Don't know how it was caused. And you're going to swing down and under the railroad tracks and the railroad trestle and up the other side. Steep little pitch. And you're going to make a left-hand turn at the top of this pitch. Don't go right, even though the yellow stripe goes that way. Turn left. Another little pond. I don't know if you can see it out there, but there's a bunch of trailers. People actually live on this little pond with freeways on 2 of the 3 sides. Not exactly a nice spot. And over here on this side is the river again. You can see the freeway dead ahead, or at least the bridge. This used to have trees all along here, and they tore them all out. And they put these big stones in because there's so much erosion in the springtime from the flooding that we have along here. The runoff, the melt off from the mountains. Not sure if you can tell, but boy, the hills are still nice and green. We're approaching May. Hasn't yet browned up. Now, we are at another intersection, if you will. Let's stop for a second. If you go up here to make this curve, follows the freeway and goes up to the town of Sela. It's not a particularly nice ride because it goes right along the highway. Town of Sela is not bad, but that ride isn't much to ride home about. We're going to go straight ahead and down underneath the bridge and up on the other side. Popping up on the other side, and more lakes. Several people down on the water fishing. It's a popular place to come. I'm surprised people fishing at high noon. Not that I'm a fisherman, but I seem to recall that from when I was a kid. A lot of people out today. You'll notice that every so often they do have restrooms along the path. Very basic, hole in the floor. Well, no, that's not right. There's an actual toilet, but it's just open pit, really. But, you know, if you gotta go, you gotta go. Well, looks like these people up ahead might be going fishing. Hard to say with any certainty until I'm up there, but yep. Oh no, he had a RC speedboat he was going to go motoring. Had never seen that before. Can't imagine wearing a jacket on a day like today. It's in the low 70s or so. Take a little dip down, make a swing to the left, swing to the right. Grab your partner, do-si-do. This part is really popular with geese, so you'll find a lot of excrement sometimes on the road, on the bike path. This part of the path has had its problems with erosion from the river. You can see right here in particular, washed away. It's kind of narrow here. Oh, geese coming in for a landing. Very cool. No, we're not going to drive up under the freeway. We're going to swing hard left. Up a little rise. And then it flattens out again. A few little dips. This part of the trail, the Greenway, oh, there's a goose in my way. I hope he doesn't attack me. This part of the Greenway is the most popular, I guess. Well, maybe not the most popular, but this is where you start getting more and more pedestrians, runners, children. Not sure you can see it from here, but there's kind of a little play area over here to my right. Yeah, you can see it better there. Made it look like a little fort of sorts. River's kind of high and running fast. I'm not sure you can see that. Another way that people get on the trail is by coming and getting off at exit 33B, which is Yakima Avenue and Terrace Heights. If you go here, you're going to want to take a left headed towards Terrace Heights and make your way to Sarge Hubbard Park, which we'll be coming to in a short bit. Immediately coming up is a little more developed couple of motels, a restaurant, Burger King, and people will often park in this parking lot right here. I don't know that I would do that. I've seen a lot of broken out windows, people who have parked there. This is the first of two hotel kind of things. This is the Baymont by Wyndham. And then Burger King, if that's what you're into. And I don't remember what this motel is. You'll notice these blue benches with the covers. They're, people who've contributed. And we head down under this bridge. The bridge takes you up to Terrace Heights. We're not going to go there. Another motel that just put in a little while ago called My Place Hotels. I'd never heard of them. Now we're approaching Sarge Hubbard Park. So we're taking a little bit of a detour here into Sarge Hubbard Park. And one of the first things you'll see is the Vietnam War Memorial, the Korean War Memorial, and this French gratitude train from the Second World War. It's a nice little park, well manicured. We'll swing under this little bridge here, and dead ahead is another one of the little lakes, this time with a fountain in the center and slopey grassed area, very popular for different music festivals and concerts and that kind of thing. And we'll turn to the right and continue along the Greenway. Hi. I'm on your left. Benefit of riding your Rover with the big juggernauts, people hear you coming. All right, so we've passed all these little lake, pond, whatever you want to call them, and we're going to dip down into this copse of trees up ahead. You'll notice that there's a gravel bit that goes off to the left. Never been that way. So I have no idea. So we're gonna dip down. You gotta be careful through here. Kind of, see right there, it's kind of a blind corner. And you're going to come through this stand of trees. And when you get to the other end, you're at the Arboretum. Weaves along through here. Be careful. Sometimes they don't trim the tree branches back far enough. I got stabbed in the head a couple years ago riding through here without a helmet. Oftentimes you'll see people walking dogs through here. We're coming up on the Humane Society, and they could bring them out to this dog park right here, and they walk along this path. This building dead ahead is the Humane Society. I'm glad there are people who can do it. I could never. It would just break my heart. And we're going to go left here. All right. We made a left in that parking lot. Now we're going to go right and then go left again. There's a sign, but you can't see it in the video. You're going to go by Nob Hill Auto Wrecking. A lot of homeless folks have made their camps out here from time to time. They put up signs, no overnight parking. I'm not sure how successful that is. That ahead just kind of ends. We're going to curve down to the right into this parking lot, and dead ahead is this little gated area, I guess you'd say, and go to the right. Sign, share the Greenway. All right, now you can see that there's a Y in the road here. To the left is the way the trail used to go, but because of the flooding, it got washed away. So you have to turn to the right along the Jewett path, and it's not as nice, but nothing you can do about it. All right, so dead ahead, that's where the old trail would come out. And you'd have to make a really sharp left-hand turn, where we're making a right-hand turn. So you'd come out over here, you'd come in here, and you make a left-hand turn and continue on. This part of the trail is very broken up. There's holes in places. I'm not sure, but I think this might be the oldest part of the trail. So, dead ahead you can see where it says Greenway closed. Another part of the trail that was washed out by the river. So you have to go to the right along the detour, along the gravel. And you'll have open field on one side, you go on the right, and another little pond. I should make a decision. Am I going to call them ponds or am I going to call them lakes? Anyway, on your left, and you ride along here. It's got some ruts, so you'll have to pay a little bit of attention, but hey, if you're on your Rad Rover, it's a piece of cake. One thing you want to make sure is that you have Tuffy liners, some kind of slime or something in your tubes. We have goat heads over here. Just follow the dirt path. And after a short bit, you come to a little park. And you're going to, I should say, we are going to bear to the right along this, staying with this trail. And you'll come back to the pavement. And dead ahead is a roundabout. You might be able to read that sign, Valley Mall Boulevard. This is in Union Gap. At the far end, this is as far as you can go and be on the trail. Over here, dead ahead, is a parking lot, so people park there, and as you saw, people were walking in. And that ride is just shy of 10 miles. It's a nice ride. Very pleasant. So that's the end. You're now in Union Gap. Of course, unless you had somebody park over here, you're going to have to go back the way we came.